Hello people, this is Ryder here to review the Ultraman Blazar Shokugan Blazar Stone 02. So yeah, the first thing you're going to be wondering, where are the boxes again? I messed up. I did not read the description clearly, so... Yeah, I once again got a listing that was going to trash the boxes, which is obviously inconvenient to me, especially because we made it such a big deal in the first set that, oh wow, I'm covering the boxes as they're sealed. Ooh wee! But now we don't even have the boxes. So, there goes that. So, the thumbnail, I'm most likely just going to take the first set and just Photoshop the second set boxes on top of it, because I need to try. I just want to have consistency. Anyways, this lineup comprises of Niji Kaigachi, which, again, just like set 3, I did not read the name of this one yet. The Shokugan version. And then we have Zet Beta Smash, Zet Gamma Future, Titus, Shining Ultimate Zero? Or is it Ultimate Shining? I think it's Shining Ultimate Zero. Ultimate Shining Ultraman Zero? Okay. And then Trigger Dark, I did not look at what you were called. I'm so sorry. You're upside down. But I'm pretty sure this is also like another Blazar. Obviously it's a Blazar Kaiju, but from like before Niji Kaigachi. Again, that's the name. I feel like this one's like, I don't know, the only thing that comes up to me is Togechi. But that's a Geats Ryder. So here we have this uncenteredness finally unwrapped and such. So obviously we will just take a look at them one by one as we typically do, as I feel like I've been saying. Here is Niji Kaigachi yet again, to which obviously the only difference here is that this one is C021 as opposed to C002. As we take a comparison with the DX one, I feel like this one's lighter. I don't know, I feel like this one's actually slightly different in details, because this circle here is a lot more bigger than this one right here. And I feel like some portions of it are thicker as opposed to the DX one. And as you can see, I don't know if it's just my eyes, I feel like this one's pointier right here as opposed to this one being more rounded and such. But other than that, this is more... Basically, again, the only clear difference is this circle right here. It's bigger here as opposed to here, so I guess that's something to point out. And then we have the rest of how this lineup is. Here's Zet Beta Smash, obviously it's red. C134, Zet Gamma Future, it's purple. It's been a while since we got a purple stone. C135. And then we have Titus, which is pretty neat. It's just, again, kind of weird with Taiga. They're going backwards. And obviously he's yellow. So again, it's at least nice with the Tri-Squad. They're their proper colors. He is C128. And then technically this is continuing our form stones. Here is the Ultimate Shining Ultraman Zero Stone, or technically, again, stone formatting is the form after, which is kind of normal with how Ultraman names his gimmicks. Which, I don't know, this one's definitely weird, because, well, it's still yellow, but it's just like, I know they're trying to take advantage of Ultimate Shining Ultraman Zero, but it's just like, this could have easily been Ultimate Zero, C090, because Zero has all his forms programmed, but I mean, it's just like, it's whatever. It takes the Trigger Truth route of still being a standard stone, even though it's their most powerful form. And then we have our two unique stones of the set. So here we have the Tregear Stone. So again, they're doing everything but Taiga. Which Tregear is cool. I really like Tregear Stone, especially because again, I always like the blue cover. Or cast, I guess. I don't know. C154. And to go along with Tregear, we have Trigger Dark, which makes sense as we got Trigger Truth in the last set and such. And again, really do like how it's black. I just really like how they handle black. And this is C142, so this one takes... Yeah, so this one's actually before Tregear, but I think it's just because I think he's in the lineage of Trigger Stones. And then, technically this is our second Kaiju Stone, but it is our only sole new one. From what I saw from the wiki, his name is Dorgo, to which he's the Kaiju that is the one that allows Earth Garen to go, or he's the one that has the cannons for Earth Garen Mark II. So he is C160. So let's use these within the Blazar Brace. So obviously we will start off with Ichikaigachi. So obviously it starts off the same. It's just that they reduce the amount of sound you get from it from 4 to 2. So we get a Blazar grunt. But we get the attack sound yet again. It's just the one sound. That's new. And now, Beta Smash. So obviously, just like Alpha Edge, the animation's the exact same, and because it's like Alpha Edge, it will carry the same amount of sound properties. No, it will carry the amount of sounds, all the sounds that you recall from the original Zet Stone carry over, with the grunt being the only thing changed. So for the sake of ourselves, for Gamma Future, we'll only do the transformation and the first grunt. I don't get why they carried over Zetsum Coulson for all the forms. Because again, some of these are kind of weird with how they are handled, but... Gee, Titus. Because Titus actually gives a unique announcement. But no unique animation. I forgot to say, obviously, if you recall from Fuma, obviously he would carry the same amount of sounds. So obviously, because the sounds carry over from the Hyper Key, he would have Planium Buster. Now, for technically a new sound for us, because obviously we never covered any of Decker's stuff. So again, that sound got carried over from the D-Flasher. Along with that, but no finisher. And that's also the only phrase. Tregear. So we have the return of the evil, I'll call Dark Ultraman animation. I don't know what else you can call it. And unlike Belial, it's only the one sound. And then Trigger Dark. We have the wrong standby, but it's technically the only way to get the standby without Kengo. Woohoo, that's fun. So because of the fact Trigger Dark is dark, he gets stuck with that evil Ultraman animation. And just like Tregear, he only has his grunt. Then for our Soul Kaiju Stone. Technically, quote unquote, proper Kaiju Stone, I meant. Yep. I'll turn that off so then it doesn't die again. So I think for sure this set is definitely a lot stronger in like presentation than the first set. But I think the first set was a lot better in variation. In terms of stones and such. Because oddly enough, Nichi Kagachi, in my opinion, is the weakest stone of this entire set. Just because it doesn't really offer as much. Which is kind of disappointing. especially going from like the first set with Blazar's Stone and such. I think it's neat for them that they just decided to blast through stones that actually will do something. Because I can't fault them for doing that. And I don't mind the trade-off. Like, I don't... Because, again, the lineup is still consistent. We do have 2 pure Kaiju stones. It's just that this one's actually utilized as opposed to this one. And we still have, like, 6 Ultraman stones. It's just that I don't... I get them probably wanting to push out form stones and such, and I don't mind that and such, because honestly, at least with Zet, they were smart enough to actually push them out. Like, so, I just don't get why they didn't bother doing that with what we will get to later. And obviously, like, having Titus and Tregear is pretty neat, but, like, obviously Titus does actually more. So, like, obviously, Titus makes sense here. I think Titus is kind of the only one that actually is valid in this lineup, just because you already put out Fuma in the second Gashapon set. And again, that's kind of the same with, I feel like... I guess that's how I kind of have to summarize this entire lineup. They're basing it off of what they've already put out in the first set. Because the first set already had Alpha Edge and Trigger Truth, they felt obligated to put out Beta Smash, Gamma Future, and Trigger Dark, and such. And then, like, obviously, Titus, like was said, because Fumo's already in Gashapon 2. And then Tregear, like, again, it's actually cool that they put out Tregear. Zero, I don't mind at all. It's just, I'm just kind of infuriated of, like, the future. And, like, because, again, this is not a bad lineup, but it's just... like, half of it's just forms, and the other half are, like, actual unique Ultras. It's just that these 2 barely get to do anything for some reason. And again, I don't get why I get that with any other Ultras within the new generation that aren't main titled, like, because again, like, Titus, Fuma, and Grigio, or I should have swapped it. Grigio, Titus, and Fuma are the exception. But, like, why do we not have Ignis phrases? Like, it definitely would have made him more bearable, and I just don't get why these 2 don't carry the same aspects that Belial got. Like, obviously, it makes sense why Belial got released in a DX set as opposed to being thrown here, because he actually got an additional sound as opposed to these 2, especially with Trigger Dark. But then again, this is like running back to them just randomly going backwards with what they did with the D-Flasher into this now. But, like, I think the color variety, I guess, is cool, though we have 2 yellows, but, like, oh, like, I don't know, like, this is not a bad lineup, but it's like, this is the last Candy Toy set, and it's, like, really infuriating that they've been doing this with Ultraman. Especially with the series like Blazar, where there was, like, a lot more sounds that they should probably be getting out there. They just don't bother. Like what I've been reiterating. Why, out of all series, was it Rube that got a 3rd Candy Toy set to only release 1 new crystal? It doesn't make sense. And with Trigger, with the Hyper Keys, I understood why they probably only did 2, but they actually bothered to actually try to push through. This series should have gotten a 3rd set. They retrofied it, to which I was told that we probably weren't going to cover in this round, but they did eventually retrofy that. But, like, and I think I did come up with a lineup for this wave, or for a potential third wave, but I think it's basically the same lineup as this. Of just, okay, just try to push out as many form stones as you can and such, and not as much like individual stones. But it's like, I don't know, like, it's not a bad lineup, but for like, there's so much more that needed to be released, and they're just like, and the stupid thing too is that this, like, the gap between the first and second set. Why? Why did we have to wait until October for this thing? I get it's because of a stone from August, but come on, push through getting these sounds out. Don't you want to maximize the playability and not, like, hold back all these sounds? Because then I know they program these sounds as a safe measure, but it's like, in my opinion, if you're gonna program it, actually bother to release it. Why are they so back and forth on this?